My apologies. I don't know what I touched. I am so sorry. Um, I touched something and the thing just went off. So I am very sorry. So let me continue what I was saying. Discussing the Constitution Part B and getting into it. My sincere apologies. I hope that yeah. Okay. Um, my sincere apologies again, guys. I'm not touching anything again. I already realized that this, yeah. Anyway, so we're talking about that labor should not be exploited and the inhumane conditions, right? I'm starting this off from another, so this will be a two-part video for those that you were watching the first part. This is the second part because I got cut off. My apologies again. I got cut off. And so I'm just continuing the video to finish what I am saying, no? So it's the labor should not be exploited or forced by economic necessity. And you know this devil is a liar, you know. For the past three days I've been doing these lives, and every single time there is something that comes up that cuts off my videos and I have to do it over. The devil is a liar. This word is getting out by all means necessary. So I don't know what you want to do. All right. Also, we're talking about that the opportunity for advancement, you know, to advance people should be there. And those advancements would be based on the basis of recognition of merit, you know, ability and integrity, right? But there, you and I also know that the opportunity for advancement is very slim in this country, almost next to none, right? People work for years for people and they don't even get based on a little something, even as much as a little raise of pay. Sometimes for years for the same salary. Doesn't matter how the economy goes, or doesn't matter how the people do it in their business, whether they profit or not. We are on profit, you know, and some of them are profiting very well. But the people don't get to benefit off of this. You understand? So these are some of the things that are in this constitution that protects you. So if you're faced with that, you're working and you feel like your labor has been exploited, right? You do not have to stay there. You do not have to continue that. I understand that most people keep their jobs because of economic need. But this constitution says that that is your right. Your labor should not be exploited. Okay? You're not supposed to be working for people and they're exploiting your labor or having you work in inhumane conditions. If you're working somewhere, you're supposed to have adequate equipment, including proper clothing. And it is not your responsibility to get these proper clothing for those jobs that require certain clothing. You know, like let's say for example, if you're like a welder, you know, you go to work, they're supposed to make sure that you have your proper gear. If you're dealing with hazardous materials, you know, like I gave this example again there was an incident, I think it was last week or the week before that, where we had some construction workers that were tearing down, dismantling this building on the corner of Freetown, and it was reported that the building had asbestos, and these people were in there, no kind of protection, or with their hands, their raw hands, and if for those of you that knows what asbestos is, and they had these gentlemen just in there working just like that, you know. These things will affect these people. It will affect you if you don't know. It might not show up now, you know, but later. A lot of people start getting sick later. They don't know why they get sick, because you have been exposed. Some conditions that you have worked in is hazardous to your health and you did not know, right? And for the employers, you know, you're dealing with certain things. Like I said, my plea to them is to, you know, have a heart, because let me tell you, you will be held accountable for things like that. If you put people in hazardous conditions, or if you are exploiting people's labor, and if you are having them work in inhumane conditions, you are moving the hand of God. You're forcing the hand of God, and you are calling His judgment. And then that's why you would think that sometimes why maybe your business is not prospering the way it should. You have to think about how you're dealing with your workers. because they are God's children. So you cannot treat people how you want, right? If you didn't know, no problem. If you were doing it, it's your you've heard the words, you've heard it, so it's your opportunity to do something about it, right? But all of these are a part of this constitution, and it gives you that right that you don't have to work for anybody that will be exploiting your labor, having you overpaid and underworked. Underworked. I'm sorry, it's the opposite way around. You are overworked and underpaid. That's wickedness, right? So we have to start changing these things and addressing these things. And this is for you to know what your rights are, right? And that the advancement, the level of the opportunity for advancement should be there so that you can rise, so that you're not working for the same $200 that you signed up on in 1990. And here it's 2020 and you're still getting the same $200. That's craziness. That's exploiting people's labor. And that's people exploiting your labor. Okay? And if as long as you know it, then you can stop it, right? And then it also went on to let you know that the Constitution says that children are also protected under this Constitution. All right? Your children are protected. All children are protected. So it's not regardless of their social status, it's regardless of their they are supposed to get education and health on a basis of equality. All right, so one child is not more deserving over another. Your child doesn't deserve less than somebody else's child according to this Constitution, right? So it's time that we start to create the balance. And it can be done. Like I said, people, we all have a seat at the table, and it's high time we stop acting and receiving crumbs from the table. You have a seat there. Take your seat and stop having people telling you, make it seem as though you deserve less. We don't. Okay? So part C of the Constitution lets you understand how the government is formed. And the part C tells you that the government is formed by the will of the people, right? And it's in a democratic society, and that just basically means that in a democratic society, majority rules. So we go to a vote, and whatever the majority says, well then, that's what we are doing. Unfortunately, this democratic society that we're living in, right, the majority is not making decisions, even though the voters go and vote, right? The majority of the voters make decisions, but the majority of the people in this country are not making decisions, because it's not the majority of the people in this country that is going out and voting. And that's what I plead to you today. The people that used to be just like me, that are like that, how I used to be, sit down and fed up with the country, fed up with the POP and UEP, and I just say I'm not going to vote. I did that, and I'm sure most of you can relate to that, right? But that position is a wrong position. Did you see what I'm doing now? Instead of saying I'm not going to vote, I went and I create an opportunity so other people can have another option, so they don't have to vote POP or they don't have to vote UDP, right? That is what democratic system is all about, and that is my right and it's your right. We don't have to just choose between the two, right? But I'm saying taking that position to say, well, I'm not going to vote because that two are the same and I'm not into politics. We need to be, because this is why our country is in the position that it is right now, right? Because we are not being involved. And the voting population is not the majority of the country. The voting population, the people that have registered to vote, are not the population, right? The entire population is not a majority. It's only a handful of people still. I think I've heard them say it's about 100,000 people. Well, we have over 500,000 people in this country. So if only 100,000 has been registered to vote, then that means, do the maths, man. If we have over 500,000 people in this country and only 100,000 people has registered to vote, then that means that only 100,000 people in this country are making the decisions for this country. And the 100,000 that have registered to vote, of that 100,000, still it's not everybody that went to vote. So I'm just think about that. So maybe out of that 100,000, I guess we'll find out at the after elections how many people actually went to vote. But I want you to think about that number of people that actually went to vote. Think about the amount of people in the country, and you realize that it's just a handful of people that are making the decisions, voting in the decisions of this country. So you need to get involved. If you haven't registered to vote, go register to vote. And when you get there, if you don't want to vote PUP or UDP, then don't just spoil your vote, but vote for the independent, or vote for one of those other, parties. I'm not really a party people, to be honest with you. But vote for anything but UDP or PUP, because if you do that, then we get the same thing that we have been getting from 1981, right? We're not saying that they haven't done some things, or that everything that they did has not been beneficial to the country, but I'm saying, but what they have doing, they were able to do far more than they did. And majority of the things that they said that they were going to do is not far-fetched, it's not unreasonable, it's not something that they couldn't do or still can't do. It's within their power to do it, but they don't, because it won't benefit them. Okay? And in a democratic society, it should be whatever happens, as I said before, in the Constitution, it's supposed to serve the common good of all the people in the country, not just a few, all right? Not just a handful, right? So that's the part that's talking about the people, the will of the people forming the government, right? And that the people are freely elected. So as long as you reach the age of 18, I think it's 18, you can go register to vote, and you can exercise your right to vote, right? Sitting home and saying, I'm not going to go vote, or it no matter. Yes, it does matter, especially in this election coming up, because you have independent candidates and you have the third parties. You might not like everybody in the party or whatever, but you can select a few that you can at least maybe get there. But we have to get at least a coalition government. We have to get some of these independents into the house to balance the things that are going on in that house, because PUP and UDP has been taking this as a dolly house for too long, and we the people are feeling the pinch. We the people are the ones that are getting the shitty end of the stick. Okay, so we could get an independent candidate into the house. We could vote them in. Okay, so let's work on that, getting independent candidates in that house to balance it, because everything that the PUP and UDP now do will have to be open and clear to that independent person, and that independent person who will no allegiance to neither. You see what I'm saying? They're not holding no allegiance to no party. They're not holding no allegiance to UDP or PUP. They're not, no. So they could fully represent the people without any strings attached. That is how important it is to get an independent candidate in the house. You understand? And they would have to, when bills or stuff are coming by, they would have to pass that through. And for one like me, I will consult my people, because the people are the ones that are my employer. You understand? And these people don't act like that, because we make them feel like they're gods. We worship them, and that's idolatry. That's why they can get there and just do whatever they want without consulting us. And I'm just saying, I believe that it's high time that stop. And that's why I put myself there as a candidate, hoping that the people that share the same mentality like me and see the wrong and say, you know what, I'm tired of it, and want to exercise their right to vote, but don't know that they're not going to go vote for PUP or UDP. But at least they have somebody that they can lend their votes to, so they're still exercising their right. because by them not having confidence in either parties and not being able to vote, that's a violation of their rights, because they're supposed to also be equally represented during an election process, right? So if they don't want to vote UDP or they don't want to vote PUP and there's nobody else there for them to vote for, that is a violation of those people's rights, because then you're basically saying, I stuff this down your throat, take that, the only that I give you, and this constitution right says no. That's not what this constitution says. Equal representation. Everybody's supposed to be represented. So if you don't want PUP and UDP, then you're supposed to have a representative there where you can say, well, I'm going to vote because I don't like PUP or I don't like UDP. I don't agree with UDP or I don't agree with PUP, but there's an independent candidate there. I'm going to go and cast my vote for that independent candidate. You understand? That's how that works. Everybody's supposed to be represented, right? So part D of the Constitution, I'm going through it, right, because it's very nice to know it. I'm learning as I'm sharing with you guys, and people are sending their comments and stuff. So it's nice because then, I'm talking, but a lot of people, they are sending me little messages and, telling me this and telling me. So I like it because this is how we ought to operate. I don't know everything. And that's what I don't like with these folks that have been in government since 1981, because they go to the house and they act like they know everything. You're right. They know everything that's happening in Belmopan, and they have been using it to their advantages, cutting here and doing this and doing that, using the fact that they know the law, and because they're lawyers, to use their wickedness to interpret this and to pull this out and to twist this and twist this and twist that for their own benefit, right? But we don't have to do that. And I like this, the fact that we can talk right here and people share with me so that I can learn something maybe that I didn't know before, because again, I don't know everything, and I will die not knowing everything, just like you and everybody else, because every day there's something new to learn, right? And I like that. I like listening to people. I like hearing what's on other people's mind, no matter who you are, because everybody have something to offer as far as I am concerned. Okay, so I always give people that opportunity. I don't look down on people and you that they say no. I listen to people, right? So part D, very, very, very important at this part D of this Constitution here. This is it right here. This little section, one small section, but it has a powerful punch. This one little area right here, right? It says that whereas the people of Belize, right, recognize that men and institutions remain free. That men remain free. That has a powerful punch. That you remain free. Only when your freedom is founded on respect for moral and spiritual values. So you are free up to the point of where your freedom is based on your morals and spiritual values of this land, not of you as an individual. The moral and the spiritual values of this land, because God is the supreme being, as stated in the first part of the Constitution right here. This acknowledges God. So you now are free. But if your freedom conflicts with moral and spiritual values of this land, you're not to operate in that freedom. You can't do what you do if it conflicts with this and upon the rule of law, right? And this section D right here is very, very, very important, because that's for those people who wants to be doing foolishness and turn it into law so they could continue their lawlessness. turn lawlessness into law. This part D right here of this constitution is for those people who wants to take their rebellious, lawless ways and turn it into law to govern the lawful people. Okay? The people that exercise freedom within moral and spiritual values. With moral and spiritual values. One thing that comes to mind when I'm talking about that is that section 53 that was passed when the gentleman gone and talk about how his body is his, and if he wants to sleep then he shouldn't be penalized. That goes against this right here. Your freedom, you're saying that you want to be free to sleep with one other man. This is saying that you remain free only. It's founded upon respect and moral and spiritual value. There's nothing morally correct about a man sleeping with another man. So right away, that section 53 that was amended was supposed to have been dismissed. Now you waste the court time. They didn't even have to dig. But I'm not a lawyer, but I have common sense. Right away, that was supposed to throw out. Because that is not founded on moral or spiritual value. So for him, freedom right there so done. The moment he put that and says that I shouldn't be penalized with that. No, you're free as long as your freedom is exercising underneath moral and spiritual, the moral and spiritual values of the land. And it is clear as it relates to the moral and spiritual values that it is founded upon the principles of God. All right? So, if it's founded upon the principles of God, then God's word, which is the Bible, right, is the foundation for the moral and the spiritual values. And God's word go against homosexuality and lesbianism because it cuts off the human race. You can't produce, you can't reproduce, and the purpose of the human race is to reproduce. Okay? And as I spoke actually before about putting homosexuals and lesbianism in the same category as being terrorists because they cut off the human race. You can't produce. Okay? And so you're cutting off lineages. You're stopping us from procreating. So you're an enemy of the human race. Right? If we're gonna get, I got into that in one of my the earlier videos if you want to hear more about that, right? All right, so this part D again is very important. Know that you have freedom, but you have to exercise your freedom in a moral way, on the morals and with spiritual values, right? So not because you free, that means say you gonna take one dog and go have sex with the dog. That's morally wrong. You understand what I'm saying? Things like that. But because you free, you could just walk into Miss Mary house or Miss Mary yard and go thief a chicken. That's morally wrong. You see what I'm saying? You're free to go into her yard and remove the chicken, but it's morally wrong. So you are only free up until the point where you violate her constitution right. One, because you're on her property, without her permission, and two, you're taking her property. You see what I'm saying? It's morally wrong. Spiritual value is morally wrong. So that's where your freedom gets put in check, right? All right. So part E now. This is the first time I'm touching on part E of the Constitution, and it's a lengthy one, but I'm going to kind of run through it a lot because it has a lot to do with a lot of the things that I have already mentioned here and there in the other videos and in this one as well. It says, whereas we, the people of Belize, require policies of state which protect and safeguard. Okay, remember it says we require policies of the state. So the state will be the government. Okay, the people that manages the affairs. I want you to understand that the government are managers of the people of Belize's affairs and their resources. The government is not managers of the people. The government that we elect, the people that we elect, are equivalent to managers. They're employees of the people. And these employees of the people, task is to manage the affairs of the country on the people's behalf. Okay? They are to manage the affairs of the resources of the people on the people's behalf. But they are not to manage people. They are not to dominate people. They are not to oppress people. It's like, because then that would be the same as you having your business, and because you have your business, you hire Susie, okay, she can work for you. And then when Susie can work for you, good morning, Brenda. When Susie can work for you now, Susie now take over your business and tell you what to do. You understand? That is the situation that we have been in with these two parties, PUP and UDP. None of them different because they're married to one another. If you guys check, they're all related somehow. They married up. And they're greedy, gravelicious people, all for themselves. Parasites, vampires, right? And I say that based on the evidence presented. Right? The fact that, whenever they're finding people to represent a constituency side of a family member, they're passing these things down like there's nobody else in the country that have brains. Only they that can manage anything. Only they. So that is the wickedness behind it, and that is part of my thing to break out, to break that stigma, to break it, to break that period. It has to be broken because we have brilliant people in this country. We have people that are hardworking in this country that can do a far better job than what these people have been doing since 1981. Okay? Since 1981. Because all they keep doing is giving our people just a little bit, just enough. You understand? They'll never invite you to the feast, the big feast. Have you stand at the door and go, can one plate of food for your seat, yes, sir? No, you have a seat at the table. The feast is going on. You have a seat at the table. You need to come in the room and find your seat and sit down at the table and eat your food at the table. The table is not reserved for them alone. 2020, full vision. Everybody wants to clearly see. So after seeing clearly, it's your choice. You can do what you want to do, but knowledge will be open. You will get it. You deserve a seat at the table. Everybody does. I am taking my seat. I'm not asking nobody for my seat. I'm taking my seat. That's why I offered myself as a candidate. That's what I think I can do. That's what I think I'm able to do. I think I can do this. That's why I did that. I'm not accepting anything from anybody anymore. What they feel like give you, and I'm challenging you to do the same. Don't accept what people just give you anymore. All right? Because we want one better Belize. But we can't just want it because nobody is going to give us a better Belize. You have to take it. You have to stand up and put yourself in a position, okay, in order for us to get a better Belize. Saying you want one and saying, looking at the ills and recognizing that then a chance that is not going to do anything. It hasn't done anything for 1981 and it will not do anything moving forward. The only thing that will do something is if you actually rise. If you don't see that maybe in being an independent candidate is not your thing, okay, fine, that's fine. But there's something that you can do, right? Support the people that are offering themselves. Stop finding all these negative excuses and negative reasons why. Stop. That's what they want you to do. That's what they're banking on you to do. To find reasons and negative reasons as to not give other people, a chance to manage the affairs of this country, because they know that they will look bad. People will realize that from 1981 they have been pulling a piece of cloth over our eyes. That's what will happen. That's why they always try to put it, oh, we can't do nothing else. We have to stick with PUP and UDP. You can't do nothing else. That's a lie. That's a lie. We can have 31 independent candidates because there's a structure already in Bongapan to govern the country. There's already a structure. So all those people have to do is go there, you understand, and execute, implement what is already there. Simple. That's all that needs to happen. Implement it. It's just somebody coming into a new job. The position is clear. This is what needs to be done. And then the person comes in. Yes, I'm applying for the job. All right, then. They come in. They do a great job. Okay, they keep them on. And they give them a raise, opportunity to continue. Or the person comes. They don't do a good job. So they say, you know what? It's not working out. We're terminating your service. It's done. That is a relationship we have with the politicians. They're employees. They are employees. If you support me and vote for me and I become the Freetown area representative, I am your employee. Okay? And I understand what that means. It means I'm there to work for you. And if there's certain things that will benefit you, I am supposed to uphold it, because your benefit is actually my benefit. Because if you're benefiting, then eventually your benefit will trickle down to me. Everybody happy. Okay? And I'm not supposed to put the business at risk. That's what an employee does. You come and look for the benefit of your employer. The people is the employer. I understand that. Okay? All right. So it says that the policies of the state which protect and safeguard the... Listen to what these policies are supposed to protect, right? The policies of the state supposed to protect and safeguard the unity, the freedom, the sovereignty, and the territorial integrity of Belize, right? The unity has to do with the people staying together and remaining as one. So these policies of state which they make are not supposed to cause a conflict whereby people will not be unified, but it will cause a divide. We can't say the same about what's going on right now. A lot of the policies that are being made for us are policies that creates a divide, a division among us. So again, that goes against the constitutional right? It's supposed to, the policies of the state supposed to protect and safeguard the freedom. Your freedom, my freedom. The freedom of all people living in Belize. These policies are supposed to protect the freedom. It's supposed to protect the sovereignty. Belize's good name. Okay? Belize as a country, its good name, as it relates to on the international scene, right? Sovereignty, right? And the policies of state should protect and safeguard the territorial integrity of Belize. Territorial integrity would relate to the borders, right? That keeps the borders, as the former Mr. Ellington had said something about it being artificial. There's artificial lines or whatever. Be it as you may, artificial or not, the fact is people know that Belize are Belize and Guatemala are Guatemala and Mexico are Mexico. or else we would not have buildings at borders that you have to go and give a passport to in order to enter on the other side. So whether the line is imaginary or not, it's there. Okay? It's there. That's the common sense again. It's clear that there is a difference between Belize and Guatemala, Belize and Mexico. Those are the two countries that bounds us, right? One in the north and one here, that way, right? So it is clear that when we reach the boundary, we go with our passports, we give it to them, and they allow us free passage into their country. So whether that line is as what they call artificial, they're there or it there or whatever, there is clear that there is something there. Whether we see it or not, it is there because that process is in place. That we can just walk up to Chetumal or go across the bridge that we are on and just walk into Mexico. That's a border. Okay? It's a border. So it is clear that Mexico is Mexico and Belize is Belize. Alright? There's no... What is unclear about that? When you go to Melcher, go to West, there's a border there that you have to give your passport and have the Guatemalan officials give you free passage to go into their country. What that means? It's a territory. Belize has its own territory. Though if you're talking about actually going down and defend that exact spot and line and whatever, we don't worry about all of that. You understand what I'm saying? Not to say that yes, that isn't there has to be at some point, because then there wouldn't even have been a map drawn. All these maps circulating from way back when would not have been drawn. Okay? So these policies instead are supposed to protect and safeguard our territorial integrity. All right? We have a wonderful mapping department. Instead of sitting in those departments, sitting on their butts all day, ignoring people coming in for help. And I'm not just talking about the mapping department, right? But the governmental departments, because you guys can agree with me. I know everybody, or almost everybody, can relate to this. When you go to Belmopan and walking into lands department, or pretty much any of the departments there, really. You understand? People are always busy doing nothing, ignoring the people that are there, waiting for services. You understand? I had my experiences. Listen to me. Whenever you hear me talking about things, I'm not talking about other people's experiences majority of the time. And if I do talk about other people's experiences, it would be because I have already experienced that, and I'm using that as well as a supporting evidence. Okay? You go up there and nobody sees you. By the time you reach the office, you become a ghost. You become a ghost. All these things, structural violence. Thanks, Joshua, if you're listening to this video, right? Structural violence. They're sitting there not doing anything. Get out there and start demarcating the border. You're getting paid. See, these are the things. We have employees just sitting around doing nothing. And you know why I think that a part of that is because if they start working on certain things, you will see how easy things are. And they don't want to make it easy for you. They want to frustrate you to the point where you're not focusing on the things that you're supposed to. I don't figure that out. I figured that out long time. That's why they make things so difficult, or they don't fix simple little things. Things that can be done in 5-10 minutes takes you 5-10 days. It's unheard of. But that system works for them. Okay? It doesn't work for us, it works for them. So they will keep it. And that's why as long as we keep the PUP or the UDP in the government, they are already in Belmopan. They have already been there. They know how the system works. They make it work to their benefit. But I am almost confident that the structure that is there, if it is implemented the way it's supposed to be implemented, will benefit our country, will benefit our people. But both governments use it to their benefits so that they can keep having us exchange monkey for black dog every 5 years. And again, by PUP being in this year, that's not saying anything about UDP, because their only conflict, when I hear any talk about a map up there or whatever, would be maybe want some money come in where they need for me share. Maybe this one probably felt like he got jilted, or maybe he may deserve more, or whatever the case, or less, or whatever. Those are those puppet show meetings that we're seeing. And I am saddened that most of us, or all of us, just sit back and watch the house meetings, the ones that do watch it, right? And when you pick up out of on a work, we part on a deck, catch the bloody bus, or jump in on a vehicle and lay wait them motherfuckers out of right the Capitol Hill with some stone. I am sorry guys. I am impressed that we don't do that. Lay wait them outside the Capitol Hill with some stone. Forgot we to look like illiterates and stupid on the international scene when they get into that house, quarreling, and they act like, say, I don't know what, in the place, while they're supposed to be managing the affairs of the people. You know, I thought about that. Man, we're supposed to everybody left on a job and just go lay wait there as they come out at the blasted house and get in some stone, so that when they go back into the house, I bet you all puppet show business and then the nonsense when they get up there. So knowing that these things are being recorded, and knowing that the international scene, people will watch this. And you might say, oh, that not bother me. Yes, it's supposed to bother you, my friend, because you're a Belizean and you live here. And if our government officials behave in such ways, that already put one stigma on us as a people. All right? And we want start making memes, but when they say that in the house and laugh about it and stuff. That's wrong, people. Meet them in Capitol Hill. Meet them downstairs. Everybody line off right downstairs. Lone stone. As they come out, give it to them. How can you get into the house and act like some man? This is a governmental, so you don't have no respect for the affairs of the people. You don't have no respect for yourself. That's the first thing. You feel like this is your house, where you could talk to one another like dog? Huh? In the House of Representatives, in our governmental office, where our affairs is supposed to be conducted, results and resolutions supposed to be passed and done. You're talking to people like animal in there. And the worst part about it, when you don't talk to one another like animal or hag, the affairs of the people is left undone. I bet you people don't. I bet you guys miss that. You miss that. Because when you get caught up with the insults back and forth, lay wait them with some stone. When they feel like, come on, people. We got to start getting upset about these things to the point where we start acting. It's not okay for them to be in there talking about who pa ma and tara ma and yeah, it's not okay because that's not where they fa. That is not what they are in that house for. That's not what those meetings are for. We don't care for no about your ma, your pa, your cousin, your uncle, auntie. We really not give a damn. Because we know they pay you for hear about your ma, your pa. We could care less. We didn't elect you to hear about your ma or your pa. And the rest of your pedigree. Nobody didn't elect you for that. Lay weird thing with some stone, make them get the sense. And we sit here and turn it into entertainment. That's what I'm saying, people. These things come right back to you, to me. Gather up. I bet you after that, we'll have some very proper house meetings. We'll have some very proper house meetings. But because we don't do nothing, you understand? The affairs of the people get thrown underneath the rug. And then the meetings they turn into, entertainment and memes on Facebook. Okay? No. I'm not a violent person or anything like that, But when I think about things, I always say, where there is no consequence, there will be no justice. As long as there's no consequence, there will be no justice. And as long as we keep turning one blind eye and lock with eye and continue to take the licks, then what will they get? We'll continue taking lick. Matter of fact, when I take no more licks, you know what will happen now? They start cut off with hand and with foot and with neck. Okay? So those days of lackadaisy sitting back and no, I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you to do better. To act. And this coming elections, right? This coming elections, your voice could speak louder than it has ever spoken before. Your voice can speak louder than you have ever spoken before by not even saying a word. Just going to that poll and voting for an independent candidate or the third parties. I say or the third parties because to me that they are the same. Yeah. Okay? But it will show that you're serious now. It will show that you're serious. Even for the next 5 years, it will show and it will require them, if we so love on a PUP and UDP, it will require them to do better next elections. Yeah, it will require them because they love their power and they love their greed. Okay? That's the first thing that you can do. See, I'm doing this, right? That's the first thing you have the capacity of doing. It doesn't matter if you're not a diehard PUP and diehard UDP. You know error. You know you can't continue supporting foolishness, right? You know error and you see the error, and that's what I say. I'm not with the party thing, because when you with those parties, they will be doing foolishness, and because you're a part of the party, then you're forced to overlook the foolishness. I can't do that. I can't do that. Wrong with me. You understand? And I don't like operate in an error, because when you operate in error, you'll get I don't like operating an error. So I try my best not to do so, to avoid that altogether. Because I like be happy. I love happiness. I love contentment, peaceful of mind. I love all of that. Best feeling in the world. With your mind contented, your heart clean. Man, it's the best feeling in the world. Okay? That I like to operate in. Okay? And I like operating on error. Or to watch people with their stupidness and you can't say nothing because I don't know. Yeah, and with a one team my backside. Because you got in at a shit bucket, you become shit or you get shitty. Simple. So you could have maybe one good person. And you are a good person, but no, you're shitty. You don't want a good shitty person. You end up being one good shitty person, because you're gonna jump in a shit bucket. Excuse my French people, but I just like be real. And I like to talk, where people can understand, because like I said, not everybody have the same level of understanding. So I want to bring it down, make my people understand. Okay? You crawl in a shit bucket, you want to get shitty. So even if your clothes clean, by the time you come out of the shit bucket, you're done, you're shitty. You're gone in good and you come out shitty. Right? That's how I see parties. Or that from my experience, the ones that I have experienced thus far. Okay? Unless you have a group of people like that would probably share the same mentality like me, that have the same sentiments that, okay, yes, we're going to do this and we're sticking to this and with that, and we don't like foolishness and stuff like that. Unless you have a group of people, like-minded people like that, that's the perfect party to join. Okay? I saw a post the other day of a gentleman stating that, most of the third parties and independent the UDP and PP members. For the record, let people know, I have never been a member of a PUP or a UDP ever in my life. Okay? I once joined BPP. Right? And you hear what I said? I joined it because I wanted anything else other than PUP or UDP. So I joined up with them, I think back in 2015. I don't know nothing about politics. I just didn't want that anymore, and I wasn't going to vote PUP or UDP. Because when I voted UDP before I voted PUP, because I'm just for whoever is getting the job done. I don't care which PU, as long as you deal with the P, meaning the people, I'm good. I don't care which P, whichever P you're coming in, any color P, I don't care. As long as the P you're dealing with is the people, and you're dealing properly with the people, I'm good. And with the people's affairs, I'm good. I will vote you. Unfortunately, they both failed. UDP and PUP. That's why one time I didn't vote. After that, I said, oh no, because like you, I said it doesn't matter, because then you go back and forth between the same thing. If they did this and then you vote them out and put that in, all right, then come know, knowing why you voted, why they got voted out, and then they come from behind and do the same or even worse sometimes. And then you vote them out now and you put them back in. That is, I am not mad, and I'm not practicing madness. Stop have people practice making you practice madness. You're going mad. You're going crazy. That's craziness. Doing the same thing and expecting different result, people call that crazy. It's the highest height of madness. Okay, so I didn't vote. I'm going to vote. Waste my time. Because that's basically what it is. But it doesn't fix the problem. And that's what I realized. It won't fix the problem. That's not the solution. The solution is to provide an alternative. Or alternatives. That is the solution to the PUDP saga. Provide alternatives. How do we provide the alternatives? Independent candidates. Throw up on yourself out there, man. Put on yourself on a ballot. Especially within this Belize area, Belize city. We have a lot of constituencies, and that's where I realized that is where the stronghold is. In Fort George, Queen Square, and Mesopotamia. Those are the 3 constituencies with the least amount of people. I think Fort George only have like about 1,700 people. And almost majority of the 1,700 people, they're probably supporters of Mr. Musa from day one. I can tell because my father was one. And then when it came to Freetown, my grandmother was supporting Freetown. Me different. I know just to support you, so papa. I want to get your back, you know. And when I got your back, I got your back. That's me. My loyalty, now a serious thing. When I have your back, I will have your back. Alright? But I don't support foolishness. Okay? That's it. That is just my thing. I don't know how to support foolishness. I just don't know how to do it. If I see it, I can't get with it. And I can't get comfortable with it. So I either have to remove myself or whatever, or God remove me. Thank you, Lord. But I can't get comfortable with foolishness. Okay? And that's what I'm asking you today. To stop being comfortable in foolishness. Stop making you wear the crazy cap. Voting in the same foolishness and going back and forth between the same stupidness. Alright? If you're a voter of Freetown, you know, think about what I am saying. It's your democratic right to vote for whoever you want to vote for, and that is what I'm championing. I tired of see people being victimized because you support PUP, you support UDP, or you support whatever P or none at all. Okay, or because you don't support any of them, you're not go register. You weren't registered to vote, or you're not a voter, or whatever, or you're not gonna vote. That means you when it comes to governmental services, then you not qualify. What the hell? Where did that come from? You know where it come from? You not doing anything. When you elect an area representative, did you hear what you're electing? You're electing an area representative. That person represents the area. It does not, he or she does not only represent PUP supporters or UDP supporters if they're not UDP, and forget about the other constituencies or the other people in the constituencies. When you vote for an area representative, the area representative represents the entire area, every single household in that area, be it PUP, UDP, dog, cat, cow, rat, alien, whatever. They represent the people of the area. Alright? They're not, PUP the in, so we're going over the PUP, and if you go there, well, you can't get no assistance because you're not PUP. I am against that. Okay, and that have to change. Okay, so given that opportunity, you will see the difference with that. Because it's not right. Everybody contributes to the economy. Everybody pays tax. You can't select who you want to help and who you don't want to help. If you want people to vote for you, then you go. And when you are elected, you do what you're supposed to do. People won't have no problem voting for you then. But you won't have to try, yes, take care of your supporters. The one who will support you with foolishness. So you want to take from the people that actually needs in the community and give to your supporters, and so they could keep voting your backside in. And then the people like you, who I'm talking to, sitting there that don't go vote, as I once did myself. And that's why I can talk to you. I'm speaking from my own experiences. That's what I'm telling you. Because I was once that foolish. I ain't going to vote. Well, there wasn't an independent candidate in Freetown anyway. You understand? But I'm just saying that is why I didn't vote. But that's why I offer myself now, so people can have an action. And that's what I did in 2015. Because, so to give people options, right? Because we can't take that stand anymore. It's wicked. How are you going to be the area representative and you not represent the area? Only a select few in the area can get your attention or can get access to services. That is governmental, that everybody, according to this constitution here, says that we're supposed to have equal opportunities. It never says that you the PUP Freetown representative or UDP Freetown representative. No. So people, let's understand that. What do you want from your area representative? What do you want from them? What do you need from them? I know I need equal access and opportunity. So everybody have access to the same services. All right? To the same assistance. You know, what projects, what programs the inner Freetown? When you hear about the area representative, you go there, it's like a PUP house, if the PUP, if the UDP house, like UDP. That needs to stop. It needs to be neutral. It needs to be neutral. So one of my things that I said, should I be given the opportunity of being the Freetown representative? It's not what I'm supposed to be talking about right now, but since the flow, let it flow. Is to do a Freetown Community Outreach Center, and in that have housed in that center the office of the area representative. Okay, that they could conduct their clinics from, where the people can go there, and that office is not depending on if you're a PUP or UDP. That's your office. That way you don't have people going from Timbuktu to try to locate the darn area representative. Or if you're a UDP supporter, you know that it's the UDP in, so you feel funny when you go there because you already feel like you're not going to get help because it's PUP. That is craziness, people. It has to stop. It has to stop. One office, if it's just like how they do with city council, one office. This is where you come. So if the UDP they're in, okay, this is the UDP area elected office, and at any time you can go there. This is no Elizabeth Dina office. You understand? Or Mark such and such office, so you have to go over. So it is the Freetown area representative's office, which will be housed in a community center. Okay? Access for anybody in the area. Equal opportunity. Simple. And I will show you, I can show you how that can be done. And how it ought to be done. I can show you that. Because I'm tired of it. People, they're all over. You want to see this one, you have to go way over. So, or some people, no, I'm not saying that there are times that the area representatives have to be in the Mopan. But they're supposed to be in their community where the people have access to them, right? I don't have a job, and should I be given that opportunity, that is one of the reasons why I'm not doing anything. Because if I'm given that, if you decide to hire me as your area representative, then that will be my only job. You understand? That way I can put the focus where it needs to be focused on. Because that's the next thing. Then people are a liar, then that this thing have in their hand, in all kind of thing. That's why the people's affairs is being neglected and mismanaged, because they wear too many hats. Okay? This is you're signing up for a national service and it's a paid job. You have your law firm, left that. Or else if that you want to do, go over there, so go do that. And left the people in business alone. Or they get there and they wear too much hat, all kind of thing they want to have to do. While areas and the affairs of the people are being neglected. And it has to be neglected in any area that common sense. If you do too much thing, you want to start neglect things. And in this case, everything is neglected. Okay? Everything is neglected. Alright? So, again, sorry, digressed a little bit here. But, yeah, so we go back and understand about the freedom, the policies of state which are supposed to protect and safeguard the unity, the freedom, the sovereignty, the territorial integrity of Belize. Right? That's what the policies of state are supposed to protect, you know. And these same policies are supposed to eliminate economic and social privilege. Did you hear that? Eliminate economic and social privilege and disparity among the citizens of Belize. Meaning that when you enact these policies of state, they shouldn't create friction between people. See, economic and social privilege. This one if you have more, or that one because this one. No, these policies of state should be free of that. Okay, it should be free of that. All right, and the privilege and the disparity among the citizens, it shouldn't be by race, ethnicity, color, creed, disability, or sex. Right, and the policies of state should also ensure gender equality. When we're talking about gender, my people, hear me clear, loud and clear, and not stuttering. And I'm saying this boldly because this constitution is founded upon the principles giving God supremacy. And God says there's only two genders. When He created male and female, nothing else. No other alphabet. We don't know. He didn't create no alphabets. He created male and He created female. The difference between the two, a male man, right, has a penis. He carries in his testicles sperm, which is a seed. The female has a womb, a vagina and a womb, where life is created by the man putting his seed, entering in and creating life within the womb. The woman helps the man replicates himself. The man is the source. Okay? Only two genders, my friend. Let's not complicate nothing. We're going to undo this confusion. There is no controversy. Okay? And that is how when you're speaking truth, you can speak it boldly. Truth is bold. Simple. Okay? There is no controversy when it comes to what was created. Two genders. Alright? And this constitution says that the policies of state should also ensure gender equality, right? So that would the gender that this is referring to, based on the principles of God, because the Constitution was founded upon the principles of God. Those genders is male and female. Good morning, everybody else that just logged on. Two, male and female. All right. Equality. It says it ensures gender equality, which protects the rights of the individual to life. All right? So these same policies of state ensures gender equality, which protects the right to individual, right? To life. So you have a right to live. You have a right to life. And these policies of state are supposed to protect that right as well, right? It protects the rights of the individual to life, to liberty, which is freedom, basic education, right? Basic health, the right to vote in elections. Okay, are you listening, people? All right, this is what the policies of state supposed to protect and safeguard. All right, your right to life, your right to liberty, basic education, basic health, right to vote in elections, the right to work, and the pursuit of happiness. So it's saying that you're free to pursue your happiness. Nobody's supposed to stand in the way of your pursuit to your happiness. You're free to work, to support, to make a livelihood, to contribute to your livelihood. You're free to do that. And nobody is supposed to hinder that. All right? These policies that are made of the state that are supposed to protect you. All right? In all these areas, right? And it says, which the same policies again protect the identity, dignity, and social and cultural values of Belizeans. All right? These same policies of state protect and safeguard your identity, your dignity, your social and cultural values of all Belizeans. Not some, all. None is left out. Including Belize's indigenous peoples. Policies of state. It says, whereas the people of Belize requires